retired. He holds the record for the highest average of title fight wins and beaten opponents in boxing history. He also holds a PhD in sports science and is the author of the new book, Challenge Management: What Managers Can Learn from the Top Athletes. So let's jump right in. Hello. Doctor. Right?
Right.
I botched your name, but now I'm calling you Doctor, so you're not going to be mad. Tell me about the book.
So the book is great. It's well, I need to sell it.
Yeah, you have to sell it.
It helped me. It helped the others. It's a method. It's actually philosophy. Challenge management. What is challenge management? Problem solving, in other words. But I don't have problems. I have challenges. If people think about problems, they kind of freeze. But if you think or take a problem as a challenge, it's more fun to get this puzzle done. So the principles of the method, I call it FACE. You have to face your challenge.
F-A-C-E.
F-A-C-E. And that's exactly what successful people have. Focus, agility, coordination, and endurance. You have it, he has it, they have it, I have it. So any professional athlete or any athlete that have achieved certain goals in life has these qualities.
You are lecturing at HBS. You're doing things like talking at classes about management. How hard is that to transition out of being an athlete? You know, anyone that introduces you obviously says, here's boxer Wladimir Klitschko, but you're also trying to say, well, wait a minute, I'm also PhD Wladimir Klitschko, and I'm here to talk about management lessons. Tell me about that transition after sports.
Well, this transition sometimes getting really kind of in the wrong look, because people think I'm Vitaly. So they ask me like, Mayor, how you doing? Are you doing your job well?
Right.
My brother's the mayor of city of Kyiv, and then I need to explain, actually, I'm not the mayor, and I'm his brother. Obviously, people know that he has a brother too.
And then they're so disappointed. Oh, just the brother.
Just the brother.
Well, that's, question marks on faces of students or participants that taking this course and to understand challenge management and face the challenge better as a method. This question mark is just in their face, and I think, like, what this pugilist want to tell us? But there's a lot to tell. So I've collected a lot of experience inside of the ring and outside as well, and I'm glad to have 2 PhD students making out of my practical theory scientific law, basically defending their PhD work. I'm also very happy that this method has been implemented in 2 companies, 2 global players as SAP and German Telecom. So aside from helping participants of the study course, it also helped big companies to function, as well as SAP has great method that they use, which called design thinking. And this synergy between design thinking and challenge management has been announced last year at Sapphire event in Orlando. So I'm so happy that eventually the experience that I've collected in the ring transferred into scientific work, because it's called intellectual property, and then eventually does work and help people to get and make out of their problems challenges and solve them.
What would be your dream company to work for, or dream CEO that you would like to sit down and say, we need to face your challenges? Who would you like to help?
I can think of a couple that need help.
Yeah, and then if he doesn't get one, I'm going to let you give him some suggestions.
I believe I'm actually at this company right now, and company is called, let's call it a company.
Yeah.
Just sharing my expertise, and it's basically face your challenge. That's my company.
You're saying you are a company.
Yeah.
I'm the company. I'm the brand, because I put all the accent on my brand, and the name of the brand is Klitschko. I know you pronounce it a little bit different, but different languages, different languages, different pronunciations, really doesn't matter. But I'm the front man of the brand, and I'm actually living the dream. So I'm making out of my practical theory this scientific law, and I'm just giving it to people to solve their problems. And I'm getting great response, because if you hear and when you hear someone saying, listen, thanks to your method, I got my job back. I got my mother back in the family. So, and this person actually financing the 2nd PhD student, because he believes so much in the method, helped him, so he wants really to help others.
What about Elon Musk? Could he use the challenge, the face your challenge method?
Absolutely.
He's got some challenges.
What could you tell him? Like Elon, he's gotten in a little hot water recently with the SEC.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
He kind of is on Twitter doing some stuff. What could you bring to the table to help Elon?
Well, I believe in this case, probably I would say that qualities of acting without compromises. Because every compromise costs you time, and you're losing the goal. Also, if you're egotistical, so you have big ego, you will really achieve anything you want in your life. Every athlete has it. Politician, journalist. Anyone that really wants to drive something needs to have this ego. Such a big ego.
But not too much of it,
and
right?
Then it's narcissistic. You know, it's like fear and cowardness. Fear is positive, as ego is positive. Narcissistic, to be narcissistic, is negative. Same as, fear and cowardness. Fear is good, cowardness is bad, ego is good, narcissistic is definitely negative. So, and if you take it all multidimensional, you have to think multidimensional, being egotistical or act without compromises. If you take it multidimensional, then you're definitely going to solve any challenge. Elon Musk's going to do it too.
We've got the World Chess Championship coming up next month. You, as I understand it, are a fan of chess. What management lessons are there in chess that you see?
Well, I like, as an amateur, playing chess. I know you do too. We had this short talk, and obviously you just need to stay in the center, because you have better view, you have better control. As soon as you're gonna get in the corner, it's basically pretty much the same as in the boxing ring. If you're standing on the ropes and you're cornered, you're cornered. Just the meaning of it is you're limited in your movement. So when you stay in the middle, same as chess, business, life, private life, or boxing ring, pretty much the same. When you're in the middle, you have space. You can act better.
Do you have a business mentor out there? Is there somebody that you have looked up to that's taught you a lot of this, or is it all just you've learned it on your own?
My mother.
Your mother is your business mentor? I love this.
Yes, she gave me 2 books that literally changed my life.
What were
was
they?
age of 12, and it was Theodore Dreiser's Financist or Robinson Crusoe. So those 2 books changed literally my life. I took them always as an example, what I want to do out of my life, because I'm a traveler too, like Robinson Crusoe. And it was my dream to get out of Soviet Union, and I was supposed to do it, sooner than later, but to get out of the Soviet Union was so difficult. You need to be a politician or an athlete. So for a politician, I was too young, but for an athlete, it was just perfect. So I chose to box. Wow. And I used it as a tool to get out of the country. I never thought I'm going to do it for 27 years. And I'll be winning titles and all of this, defending, and actually age of 42, retiring. I'm happy that my mother, as a mentor, in any case, gave me those 2 books that changed my life.
I have to ask you a business of boxing question. Just this week, we were talking about DAZN, which is this streaming service out of the UK. They're called the Netflix of sports. They have signed a bunch of expensive deals to stream boxing in the US. One with Canelo Alvarez and Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions. One with Matchroom Boxing. So we're seeing that some companies think boxing is the way to grow in the US by streaming boxing matches. What's your take on the state of boxing right now? A lot of people think the sport in America has kind of faded. How can it come back?
Well, it's all wrong. Darwin said great line. Not the strongest is going to survive, and not the smartest, but someone who is going to adjust to the environment. Basically, you have on one hand HBO stepping out of boxing, and you would think boxing is weak because such a big network has been part of boxing for such a long time, stepping out. On the other hand, you're getting all those huge deals for $350 million with DAZN, with something that comes out of internet. Digitalization has changed our life and still changing and will change much more. It's a great tool to fight bureaucracy and corruption, but also change things for the best for athletes, fans. You can get anything you want just through your mobile device. Nowadays, you can pay anything you want to, especially in China, for example. They don't use cash at all. So digitalization in this case changed the sport of boxing. Boxing got bigger and better. Because now, probably Canelo fights going to be watched all around the world, not just in the United States, due to internet and mobile devices. So on one hand, HBO is great, but it's cable. On the other hand, some people are traveling and are somewhere, and they're able to pay and watch.
It's amazing. It's disrupted everything.